In a three-vehicle crash today.
San Antonio police say the man was driving his motorcycle down 281 near Bulverde Road, where there was a lot of traffic.
Stephen Cavazos is live at the scene with what we've learned so far.
Tim, Courtney, that crash happened sometime after 1 this afternoon, but you can see that traffic has slowly been building. We still have police on the scene. Now, police say that crash, or when that man crashed, he was not alone. A woman was also riding in the back seat of the motorcycle when he crashed into a black car, which killed him instantly. The crash caused that car to rear end another vehicle. Now, we're told that the drivers of those cars were not injured, but the woman was taken to University Hospital. Her condition is unknown. Now, the investigation into that crash is still ongoing. Police say they plan to be out here for some time. Reporting by 281 near Bulverde, Stephen Cavazos, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Stephen. The Bexar County Medical Examiner has identified the victim from a domestic disturbance we first told you about last night on the Night Beat. 25-year-old Tiffany Washington died from a gunshot wound. The shooting happened around 9 p.m. on Shady Lake Drive. Police say Washington allegedly attacked a man with a knife after a fight broke out inside their home. The 48-year-old man then allegedly shot Washington. She died later at a hospital. It's unclear right now if that man will be facing any charges.
A man is facing multiple charges after leading BCSO deputies on a chase with an infant in the back seat. 30-year-old Marquise Hawley is facing charges of child endangerment and evading arrest. Both of those are felony charges. The chase happened just before midnight, beginning on Culebra Road and FM 1560. Deputies attempted to pull Hawley over for a traffic violation. He led deputies on a chase for several miles, reaching speeds of 80 miles per hour, finally ending on Culebra and Les Harrison. The infant was not hurt during the incident.
Beginning tomorrow, Via Bus will be operating on an essential service schedule. The change is to accommodate a reduced ridership. The new schedule designed to preserve service for those who must travel for work at exempted businesses or operations. Several routes will be moving to Sunday schedules. This change does not affect Via Trans and Via Link. Details on the exact changes can be found on our website at KSAT.com.
Nationwide, high school seniors continue to worry about whether they'll have a traditional graduation. One mom in Von Ormy took matters into her own hands to celebrate her son's accomplishments. Alicia Barrera spoke to the family about what they're calling a quarantine graduation.
They didn't have to do much to set the stage for this Southwest Legacy High School senior class of 2020.
He was standing just by the front doors, standing like he would on stage.
A cap and gown was passed down.
These were my brothers from last year.
Another family member took care of a celebratory face covering, and just like that, the quarantine graduation kicked off.
Instead of crossing the stage, I walked the crosswalk.
He's worked so hard for it, and for him to finally walk across something was still an achievement for him.
Keanu's mother organized the self-distanced approved event.
I thought about it and I was like, oh, that could be cool, like having everyone around, the family.
Family members and friends decorated their cars with words of encouragement and met in the school's parking lot. And although he hasn't received his diploma, Keanu says his family gave him the boost he needed.
Everyone was honking their horns, like just screaming, like saying like congratulations, like it was cool. Thank you for my family for coming. Like it was really cool moment to see.
The graduation for Southwest Legacy High School is still scheduled for June 5th at the Alamo Dome. But in a video shared on the district's Facebook page, the superintendent, Dr. Lloyd Vestev, said that they will begin to move forward in planning a virtual commencement ceremony. In Von Ormy, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Dozens of vehicles cruising around Loop 1604 today for a prayer convoy. It was organized by Friendship Church. The idea came as a way to bring members together without breaking any rules. Members were invited to drive and pray over those on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Like our first responders and our doctors and our nurses, and also pray for those people that are impacted, folks that might be sick or might have a family member that's sick or a loved one stuck in a nursing home they can't go visit. And then also pray for our city leaders and our state leaders and our federal leaders.
Friendship Church says it plans on doing this again next Sunday.
Let's take now a look at the numbers in Bexar County. 1,231 total cases right now. Total death is at 43, which has not changed since Thursday. 691 people are still ill, but 497 people have recovered. More than 20,000 people have been tested. As always, you can watch the mayor's live briefing on KSAT at 6:13.
In other news on this Sunday, a Clark High School student arrested for allegedly robbing a fellow student at gunpoint. 18-year-old Traven Wood is facing an aggravated robbery charge. The arrest affidavit states Woods allegedly pulled out that gun and told the victim he was, quote, having hard times, and then took the victim's phone and iPods. The arrest affidavit also says Woods then demanded the victim transfer $113 via Cash App. The victim told police he knows Woods because they were both seniors at Clark High School.
A threat to set fire to a house followed shortly after by an actual house fire there. Arson investigators now looking for a person of interest in today's suspicious fire on the east side. It started just before 3 p.m. on Burnett Street. Crews were able to put the fire out in just 10 minutes and believe it started in the backyard. The homeowner told investigators he had recently evicted someone from living there and said that person allegedly threatened to set the house on fire. Damages estimated at $45,000.
Developing overnight, a man is in critical condition after 4 suspects allegedly ran him down with their car. The incident happened just before 11 p.m. yesterday at a Valero gas station on Pleasanton Road. Police say a man was fighting the 4 suspects, and when he started to run away, that's when he was run over. That victim taken to BAMC. Anyone with information now urged to call police at 210-207-8126.
A man in serious condition after he was stabbed during an attempt to break up a fight. The incident happened before 1 a.m. on West Martin near North Colorado Street. Police say 2 men were fighting in a parking lot, and the victim was a mutual friend and said he didn't realize one of them was armed. After being stabbed, he was taken to the hospital. The suspect was eventually arrested and now faces a charge of aggravated assault.
Still ahead on the news at 5:30, more restrictions underway as more states slowly begin to reopen. We'll have a breakdown for you next.
The United States closing in on 1 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 and more than 54,000 deaths. Some states have begun to reopen, but others are still under stay-at-home orders until mid-May. ABC's Rachel Scott explains why experts say testing is the key to reopening.
The severity of the COVID-19 pandemic and how to move forward varies greatly from state to state. Georgia is one of the first states to begin reopening, allowing gyms and salons to open on Friday. And tomorrow, theaters and restaurants will join them. On Monday, Montana and Mississippi will allow retailers to operate with social distancing measures in place. Tennessee restaurants will be allowed to open at 50% capacity. Colorado will allow personal services like dog grooming and personal training. And despite protests, Michigan's governor has extended her stay-at-home orders through May 15th, and today has issued new safety measures to protect consumers, but has relaxed some social distancing policies, allowing for some recreational activities.
No one wants a second wave. It would be devastating for the health of our people and for our economy. And so we've got to be really smart.
Among the numbers each state will be looking at, the rate of hospitalization.
Federal guidance from the CDC is that before you start reopening, the state and the regional hospitalization rate must be in decline for 14 days.
Many experts believe the key to reopening will be testing. New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo says his state is now compulsively, obsessively focused on testing, signing an executive order Saturday allowing all first responders, healthcare workers, and essential workers to get tested for the virus. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
Taking a look outside with live cam, it has been an absolutely gorgeous Sunday. Man, can't ask for better weather. A little bit of a breeze. That's nice. 86 degrees at the airport here in San Antonio. Let's check on the aquifer. It has been falling pretty steadily for the past several days, and it's down another 0.6 of a foot in the past 24 hours. But we've got a nice quiet pollen count today, just 4 allergens, and everything is low. We'll be right back.
2 days in a row of perfect weather out there.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you need it to getting ready for we know the heat's coming.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty warm week coming up. We'll have a couple of more days in the 80s, but we'll start to see some more widespread 90s on the board as we head into this week. Excuse me. High temperatures today, not too far off the mark from average for this time of year. Our average high in San Antonio is 83. We were up to 86 this afternoon. A couple spots in the low 90s off to the south and to the west. And here's a look at the week ahead if you want to plan out, the homeschooling schedule, getting the kids outside for a little bit, maybe doing a little bit of yard work. The only 2 days with rain chances are Tuesday and Wednesday, and really that chance of rain on Tuesday will be coming late Tuesday evening, Tuesday night, and then an early chance of rain on Wednesday. Otherwise, this week will be rain-free. Still sitting at 86 at the airport, 90 in Carrizo Springs and Cotulla, low 80s up in the hill country, but everyone has been treated to some lower humidity today. Our dew points generally in the 40s and 50s. That's feeling pretty good. It's when we get into the 60s that things start to feel a bit more muggy, and unfortunately, our dew point numbers will be climbing into the 60s tonight. Thanks to a change in our wind direction, most of us, or a lot of us, have more of an easterly wind right now, but winds are beginning to become more southerly, and we'll have a strong south wind in place through the day tomorrow, and that's going to continue to crank in the humidity. So there's surface high pressure that has been with Texas today, and that has kept things really sunny and nice. As that begins to move east late this evening and tonight, south wind settles in, and that's going to bring back the surface moisture, and it'll be feeling a lot more humid out there by tomorrow morning. We're also going to start the day with some clouds tomorrow, but we'll see some sun in the afternoon. That'll put our high temperatures back in the upper 80s and low 90s. But the difference from this afternoon to tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be feeling a lot more humid out there for your Monday. As we get into late Monday evenings, the dry line out in far west Texas could bring a lingering shower or storm to Val Verde County. Otherwise, it'll be a rain-free day on Monday. We get into Tuesday morning, more morning cloud cover. Even a few sprinkles will be possible. Muggy, some patchy fog, temperatures in the low 70s there. And then we get into Tuesday afternoon, and that's when we'll be turning our attention to the north and to the west. Two things going on here. Our next front that will move in Wednesday morning, but then also the West Texas dry line will be working into portions of our western counties as we get into Tuesday afternoon and evening. So kind of two potential chances of storms as we get into late Tuesday. One, if storms can initiate off of the West Texas dry line, those storms could be strong to severe late Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening, but then it's very late Tuesday night into the pre-dawn hours of Wednesday morning that some strong storms could get going in North Texas and eventually make it down to us early on Wednesday with the arrival of this cool front. So two kind of windows where we could see some storms as we get into late Tuesday, early Wednesday. And of course, we'll continue to keep you updated over the next couple of days as our forecast models try to hone in on what exactly is going to happen. So as far as any severe weather potential, the highest risk as we get into Tuesday night will be a 2 on a 1 to 5 scale up in far north Texas. Here in South Texas, we're at a 1 on a 1 to 5 scale, but that doesn't mean there won't be any severe weather. That just means there could be some isolated strong to severe storms again late Tuesday into the pre-dawn hours of Wednesday. So that's something, again, we'll be keeping a close eye on for you over the next couple of days. As far as any potential rainfall, this does not look great. We need much more rain than what it looks like we'll get through Wednesday. So as that cool front drops down, maybe some folks off to the east of I-35 could see between a ½ inch to an inch of rain, but more than likely less than a ½ inch of rain through Wednesday as this next little frontal boundary comes through. So enjoy this evening. It's going to stay very comfortable out there as humidity stays low. Tomorrow you'll notice the humidity a bit more, and it'll still be nice and warm in the afternoon with high temperatures upper 80s and low 90s. Chance of storms possible late Tuesday into early Wednesday, but we're going to clear out by Wednesday afternoon, and the back half of the week looks sunny and very warm. Guys?
Told you the heat's coming. Yes. Thanks, Katie.
All right, some more local talent headed to the NFL.
Alton Robinson out of Judson High School was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks yesterday in the 5th round. This young man knows how to get after the quarterbacks, and coming up, we'll talk with his former head coach at Judson, Sean McAuliffe. Plus, did Jerry Jones suffer any virtual kicks? We got it coming up.
I don't know why. This situation may bring out the best in me. Old Moby Dick out there to the right. All of those added nuances just clears your head.
Jerry Jones has a way with words. The Cowboys owner loved drafting his next round of football players from his yacht in Big Board Sports.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
You can call Seattle the Judson High School of the Pacific Northwest because Judson Rocket Alton Robinson is joining Judson Rocket Trey Flowers. Seattle drafted Robinson in the 5th round of the NFL draft yesterday, 148 overall. Seattle drafted Flowers 2 seasons ago in the 5th round, number 146. J-Rock taking over Seattle. Robinson is an explosive pass rusher. He had 19.5 sacks and 32.5 tackles for loss during his 3 seasons with Syracuse. He's trained in Bellevue, which is some 10 miles away from Seattle. So he was asked during his Zoom interview how he likes the Emerald City.
The The 12s roll deep. Everywhere you go, I remember when I first got there, I see 12s everywhere. I had to take it pretty serious. And then, meeting with some of the natives from up there, they definitely tuned me into what goes on up there.
Former Judson head football coach Sean McCullough, who's now at Cy Ranch, got to watch Robinson dominate in high school for the Rockets. We got to chat with Coach via FaceTime today, and he knows Seattle got a good one.
Obviously, an extremely gifted player physically. They're going to get a kid that has an extremely high football IQ. They'll get a kid that, is going to do anything that they ask him to. So he's extremely coachable, and you're going to get one that's going to be committed to getting better with his craft. I know him that he's probably not going to arrive in Seattle thinking he knows it all. Yeah. But I promise you, he's going to learn it all before it's all said and done. And at the end of the day, they're going to get somebody that's going to be good for that community, be a role model for kids, and, hopefully somebody that's got a really, really long career for them.
Trey and Alton were teammates at Judson, and now they'll be teammates in Seattle. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones was all smiles after the NFL draft wrapped up yesterday, saying this is one of the best drafts he's ever had with the Cowboys. Stephen Jones said this is going to be an all-time tough draft to beat. The Cowboys definitely got better, and Jerry didn't suffer any bruises during the process. He said the one thing that he won't miss, thanks to a virtual draft, is being at the same table with Stephen, who would kick him relative to his decision-making, which would bruise his shins. So did Jerry suffer any virtual kicks under the table?
No, I didn't have, whether it be figuratively or literally. No, we didn't have any kicks. We were having some good things happen for us, and we weren't having a lot of conflicting other decisions or other influences that were getting pretty obvious. You can't imagine how obvious for us that Robinson decision was, but when we got down there to it. And so you really look at all of those picks there, and then we went to get Tyler. So, no, we didn't have any kicks today.
Good to hear. Houston picked up 5 players in the draft, including offensive tackle Charlie Heck out of North Carolina in the 4th round. He can play both left and right tackle. He's 6'8", 311 pounds, and was named second-team All-ACC and surrendered only 1/3 of a sack during the 2019 season. His father, Andy, played O-line in the NFL for 12 seasons, and he's currently the offensive line coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. What advice did his dad give him as he readies for his own NFL career?
It's just put your head down and grind. I mean, it's still going to be an opportunity. We're hoping we can get into camp here, and you just got to show up prepared and just put your head down and work. That's what it's all going to come down to. And I'm looking forward to that opportunity.
I think he's pretty much a tackle. Yeah, I think he can play both sides. Great guy, really smart, works hard. Obviously his dad is a coach, and we were thrilled to be able to go up there and get him. We made a couple moves today that we were happy with, and that was one. We were able to go up there and get a guy that we really targeted and we liked at that spot.
Led by new head coach Matt Rule, the Carolina Panthers made history in the 2020 NFL draft, using all 7 draft picks to draft defensive players. In the 1985 draft, the Browns used all of their selections, all 7, to draft offensive guys. Rule said that wasn't necessarily the plan, it just worked out that way. Yesterday afternoon, Taft Boosters Club parents organized a parade to surprise 8 senior student athletes with $1,000 scholarships for college as a means of saying thank you. Taft athletic director and head football coach Ricky Stade participated in the parade, and he says that events like these have helped raise the spirits of the entire Taft community.
Well, honestly, it's kind of things like this. Every time I look up, whether it's our softball program, our baseball program, or anybody else in the San Antonio area, I've seen a lot of coaches and parents really trying to give back and really trying to celebrate and come together in these tough times. And I think to me, that's been an inspiration.
Well, Andrew said, the young man who shot that said he saw some people smiling, and I've had a few parents already reach out and say, thank you. The kids loved it.
Congrats to those student athletes.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Larry.
You got it.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. You know what time it is. Silly Sock Sunday. Okay, we've got outer space, and are those mermen?
Those are mermen.
And I only know that they're yours because you answered the question.
There you go. Mine were for Earth Day.
Oh, well,
like
good
that.
for you. See, I had no theme today. I just like the merman.
Theo.